Hey, what's up, my fat boy cooking fans? We're gonna do another cooking show, and we're gonna call this one "Wok with Freud." I've got a wok here. I bought this wok now 5 or 6 years ago. I used to watch this show on the cooking channel called Wok with One. I love Chinese food. I bought this because I had some backstrap in the freezer, and I actually made some beef lo mein with the backstrap, and it turned out really good. And I've cooked some Szechuan beef, broccoli, and beef. And today I'm gonna cook some stir fry. We're gonna make some beef and shrimp stir fry. I've got some sirloin, not yep, sirloin here that I put in the freezer. And I try to get it as lean as possible. The leaner the meat, the better, the more tender it is when you cook it. But I put it in the freezer so that meat would get just a little stiffer, a little harder, and makes it easier to slice. I want to slice that meat about an eighth of an inch thick, and that way it's good and tender. You don't have to cook it a long time. We're gonna put this in the freezer. We're gonna let it get cold, and we're gonna come back in a minute. We're gonna cut up our meat, cut up all our vegetables, and we're gonna get started on this. I think you guys are gonna like it. So hang on. We'll be right back. All right. I let that meat get cold. It's got just like a little thin layer of ice on the top of it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this right down the middle because I don't want any really long slices of meat in my stir fry when I cook it. And to be honest, I'll probably vacuum seal the other half of this. And look, when you cut this meat, you don't want to cut straight down on it. You want to get that knife at an angle like this and just slice it like that. Like I said, about an eighth of an inch thick, or maybe a little bit thinner. Got a little more fat in it than I wanted, but it is what it is. I couldn't find the cut of meat I wanted. Went to the wrong HEB. It's a small one. You see how thick that is right there? That's about how thick you want it right there. That way it'll be good and tender when you cook it. I'm thinking that's going to be enough beef. Let me grab me a baggie for now and put that in the refrigerator. I'll vacuum seal that a little bit later. Put it in the freezer. That way I have something to cook with later on. What you looking for there, Mags? What are you looking for? I'm not dropping that on the floor. You can take a smell of it, but you're not going to get any of it. All right, I've got that meat cut up. I'm going to put it over here in this bowl. Separate all of it. I'm gonna put some soy sauce in it. The soy sauce is pretty much a meat tenderizer. I don't want a whole lot on it. Put that in there. Put a little teriyaki sauce on it. Then I'm gonna get me a spoon, and I'm gonna put a little corn, just a little bit of cornstarch on there. I don't want a lot on it, just enough to kind of get some on the meat. About that much right there should be plenty. Yeah, maybe a touch more. Then I'm gonna get in there with my hands. I'm gonna stir that up. Get all of that on that meat. I didn't put a lot of beef in it because I'm fixing to get some shrimp out of the freezer. Again, it's pre-cooked shrimp. I'm gonna put some of this shrimp in that bowl right there. Oh, what the hell? Let's just put it all in there. I'm gonna put a little bit of teriyaki. And a little bit of soy sauce in that shrimp. And I'm gonna run some cold water on it. I'm gonna just let it sit and thaw out. Put that right there. All right, we've got our meat done. Over here, let me get the camera over here and show you. These are the vegetables that I'm gonna put in it. I've got bell pepper. I've got some garlic, just, onions, carrots, broccoli, the stuff that I need to make the Chinese food with. We're gonna let that meat set for a little while, and then we're gonna clean and cut these veggies up, get them ready to cook. So we'll be back in just a minute. Hey, also I've got some rice noodles here, and I've got a pan here on the stove. I'm gonna boil some noodles, and I'm gonna have some noodles with my stir fry. So you guys hang on, we're gonna get these vegetables and stuff cut up, and we'll start cooking in just a little while. We'll be right back. All right, we look at them noodles. They look good, don't they? They're rice noodles. When the thing is about rice noodles, unlike spaghetti, when you get through boiling it, you need to rinse it, because the starch in it makes it just sticky as it can get, and you don't want it real sticky in Chinese food. I got my meat finished. Here's my vegetables. I've got them all cut up with. I've got broccoli and jalapenos and carrots and bell peppers and green onions, and also on this meat, I had some ginger and garlic sitting here on the counter that I forgot to tell you that I grind that up a little bit and put it in that meat, because garlic and ginger burns real easy. And this skillet's going to be real hot. If you just throw some garlic or ginger in there chopped up, it'll burn the snot out of it. It'll taste like crap. I'm going to turn this burner on. Thing about Chinese food is you got to cook it hot. So I'm going to have to let this wok. The whole thing will freaking heat up. And then you dump this oil in there, it starts smoking, then you throw your meat in there, and you got to cook it really fast. And after just, maybe a minute or two, take that meat out, put it on the plate. Then you got to put a little more oil in it. And in the meantime, make your slurry that's going to go on them vegetables and with them noodles. I've got some Thai chili paste here. You don't need to use a whole lot of that. Dark sesame oil, that's good. I've got some mien here, which is a sweet Chinese wine, and some oyster sauce. And I like oyster sauce. And here's some fish sauce. You don't want to put a whole lot of that in there, but I'm going to put all that in this bowl right here and mix it up. And that's what I'm going to dump on them vegetables when I put them in there. It's going to be good. I want that pan to be smoking before I put the oil in it. It's scary. It'll run you off. But when you put that meat in there, you dump it in there and you want to separate it and kind of push all that meat up on the sides of the wok. That way all of it will cook evenly. And then just let it set for a little while. All right, here we go. We got some heat going now. I can see the bottom of it turning blue. Put a little bit of that peanut oil in there. And then here, let me see if I can put the camera down there. You see how that wok is smoking? Then you gotta dump that meat in there. But you gotta separate it quick. You gotta keep it moving all the time. Because if you don't, you burn the piss out of it. Man, it smells good with that teriyaki. And I'm looking at that meat and I'm looking for just a little bit of pink in it. And when it gets to that point, I need to take that off the burner so it won't cook anymore. Then I'm gonna take that meat and I'm gonna put it on a little plate. You can hear it. It's still cooking its ass off in there. That's what makes Chinese food. Look at the shine on that meat. I got to show you that. This is what's good about Chinese food. The meats, it didn't take any time to cook it. And it's pretty much done. It's tender. And take a look at it. Look how shiny the meat is. That's why I like Chinese food. There's some sweet flavors in it, and it's really good if it's cooked right. We're gonna let this meat cool off for a minute. Then after that we'll put the wok back on here and we'll make our sauce for all of this, and we'll finish cooking this. We'll be right back, y'all. All right, guys, you know what? I am really disappointed. I put all of this together to cook it, and didn't hit the record button. So, this is after I put all the vegetables and the shrimp and the meat and all of that in here, and then put it on the plate. So I'm going to show you this much of it anyway. I'm sorry, but that's Chinese food. That's a country boy, redneck Chinese food, and it's got all kinds of seasoning and flavors in it from the stuff that you put on top of it when you cook it. It's good. Once again, I apologize that I didn't get the whole vegetable part put on there, but I didn't hit the record button. So that's my fault. You guys, I'm gonna go eat and I'm gonna go watch a little college football. I'll try to do better next time. Thanks for watching and God bless.